Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So why not just make an entire series of YouTubers that have completely disappointed me once their true colors have come out? Is that title too long? So after my I no longer stand Trisha Paytas video, I've kind of realized that there's a lot of kind of OG YouTubers that I just really do not care for once their true colors have come out. And it's kind of crazy to think about because these used to be people that I idolized before I did YouTube. In the early stages of my YouTube, I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. Speaking of which, we almost have 80k, which is insane. Thank you. Hello. I know most of you that have followed me are only here for the drama, so you know what? I'll give you what you want. Who knew that if you just steadily upload videos to YouTube that you'll steadily gain subscribers? What a bizarre concept. But that also means that I can no longer take month-long hiatuses and disappear whenever one of my videos goes viral because I can't handle it. I have noticed that a lot of content creators just finally, after years and after a lot of drama and stuff, they start showing their true colors, which in turn really kind of exposes who they truly are, especially with more podcasts and more unedited kind of things such as streaming. It kind of just, you can't hide behind editing at that point. So the person we're talking about today, I don't know why I'm trying to act like it's mysterious. It's in the title, in the thumbnail, but I really thought that a lot of people would hate me for this video, and there's gonna be people who do. There's gonna be a lot of dislikes. There's always a lot of dislikes on videos like these, but I mentioned it on Twitter and people were going in. I wanted to either do a video on family vloggers, which I'm still gonna do. It'll probably be my next video. Family vloggers and why I just don't believe it's okay for children to be in kind of the social media eye their entire childhood. That's coming soon. And the other topic was Boogie2988, and maybe it's because I have a few people around me that do enjoy Boogie's content. Please don't hate me, we're still friends, please. But I was shocked. A lot of people were DMing me. I made a poll on Twitter and Instagram and people were DMing me. They're like, oh man. They're like, I need this video. I need this video. Some people were like, I'm so tired of hearing people talk crap about them. But, you know, here we are on our new series of YouTubers that have really disappointed me once they've shown their true colors. And first it was Trisha Paytas. Now it's Boogie2988. Probably know who Boogie2988 is. He has been around for a very long time. He got really popular in, I want to say like the mid 2000s. I'll put the exact date here because I failed to look that up. And he started getting really popular because he created a character called Francis, who was kind of like a stereotypical, really exaggerated gamer character that was just wild, used a lot of like profanity, freaking out kind of stuff. And that character fell off hard, and I think it was really hard for Boogie because he really depended on that character. But the thing was, Francis was kind of in the realm of like Fred, where it's like, it's not funny anymore, and unfortunately you have to grow with the platform, and I found that Boogie is finding that extremely difficult. So what I mean by grow with the platform, people's humor changes. Those like Fred and Shane Dawson skits from years ago, they were funny at the time, not so much anymore. I really didn't like Fred in general, even when I was really young, but he would get super butthurt when his like Francis videos wouldn't do super well, and it's like, people don't want to see it anymore. You have to look at those views, be like, well, I guess it's time to retire this character, instead of constantly bringing him out, retiring him, bringing him out again, and then publicly complaining that no one wants to see Francis. Sorry, people, no one wants to see it. No one wants to see it. It's not funny anymore. There's two more reasons Boogie has been like extremely popular, other than just being on the platform for a long time. He has a really nice guy, sweet, nice persona, and we're gonna get into that later. And there was also a lot of controversy and support around his weight. Boogie, I believe he was like sitting around 500 pounds at one point. I could be wrong. And he ended up getting like surgery and going on weight loss journeys and whatnot. And people found that really inspirational, along with his like positivity, which at the time I thought was really inspirational too. It's great seeing people be positive even when things are rough for them. He has had a really bad childhood, a terrible childhood, and has struggled with his weight his entire life. So with that being said, let's just jump right into me tearing this man apart. So Boogie used to be married whenever he was really overweight, and he was really dependent on his wife. They ended up getting a divorce after he got his surgery to help him lose weight. His wife just really couldn't handle the stress and like everything that came with all this, the internet fame along with his weight and his health. And we'll get into his wife a little bit later. But he ended up getting a divorce, and recently, well, he still is single from what I know, but boy, he did not handle becoming single well at all. He really does put on this persona that he's just a sweet, nice teddy bear of a man that respects all women, and that was great, but a lot of stuff started coming out after he got divorced, and he was on the H3H3 podcast. This was back when I used to watch the H3H3 podcast. I don't know any longer. Maybe that'll be another video in the future. When he was on the H3H3 podcast, he was going off about just bragging about all the women that he was seeing and like doing stuff with those women. Trying to stay monetized on this platform is just making me way more wholesome than I am. And it was just really disheartening to see his behavior. And people are allowed to be kind of grotesque. People are allowed to talk about their needs and things that they want. But seeing him and the character he built up talk about women in the way that he was, it was just kind of cringy. I don't know. It wasn't his personality, and it seemed like he was trying way too hard to be like cool and be like, yeah, I got a divorce, but look at all this I'm getting. It was just really disheartening, and it started making me look at him differently. And then more about the situation came out dealing with the girls that he was seeing. Boogie has claimed that he attracts women with kindness and giving them nice dates and taking them to the movies and doing like romantic stuff like that. And he would get super, super defensive when people would accuse him of paying the women for their company. But people found his sugar daddy website profile, and then the proof came out that he was actually paying these women for company. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it's online or it's in a legal space, that's fine, but it's the lying. And one thing with Boogie is Boogie loves to lie, and I don't like liars. And the fact that he was lying for really no reason, it just kind of like creates like this barrier between you and the person. It's like you're lying about this for really no reason, so why should we trust you when you're talking about anything? Because it's such a stupid thing to lie about. Boogie actually has admitted to paying a specific girl, her name is Lucy Fox, for her company on his own subreddit. And then after it didn't work out, he was insulting her and insulting the women that he chose to seek out. You're on a sugar daddy website and you're upset that these women are seeking monetary gain? Like, think what you want about sugar daddy, sugar baby relationships, but if a man is going out of his way to participate in these websites, what do you expect? What did you expect to happen? You're not going to just turn around and make one of these girls your girlfriend without any monetary gain on their part. They're being honest. They're on a website like this. Like, it'd be different if you were meeting these girls on, like, I guess Tinder, Bumble, like any kind of dating site that doesn't expect there to be an exchange of money, you know? So for him to go out of his way and talk about the caliber of women was just so low. Like, you chose to be on the website and you're shocked? Like, oh, they're gold diggers. You're shocked? They're being honest. They're not lying. So what did you want? You're kind of the bad person in this situation. I also want to point out that Lucy Fox was 19 at this time and Boogie was 40. So kind of creepy. It's legal, but for a 40-year-old man to be trying to seek out an actual relationship with a 19-year-old is just kind of a lot for me. Lucy actually made a video talking about the situation. I'll post it down below so you can watch it in full. I'm not going to use as many clips as I want to in this video, mostly because you girl's scared of being demonetized, so links will be down below. Lucy couldn't really use Boogie's name in her video addressing the situation because she's scared. There's a lot that could happen to her with someone like a big platform like Boogie's. A lot of things could happen. He could slander her name, he could sue her, he could expose things about her that she doesn't want out there. A lot of bad things could have come out of it. She's really young too, so this is why it's kind of controversial for a 40-year-old man to be trying to seek out a relationship with a 19-year-old because they don't have like a lot of life experience and it's really easy to manipulate them. So Boogie mentally abused this girl for 2 months, allegedly. He sought her out while she was a cam girl, but once they started seeing each other, he would not allow, probably mentally abuse her so she wouldn't be able to do her camming anymore, which is hilarious. A lot of men love getting involved in relationships with cam girls and stuff and then telling them that they can't do their job because I saved you, you no longer have to do this, even though I am not going to give you the compensation to benefit you while I'm making it so you can't do your job that you've been doing for years. He also guilted her, allegedly, into being his caretaker. I honestly believe this. I think Boogie is so used to his ex-wife being his caretaker that he really just wanted another version of his ex-wife to take care of him. He's so used to being babied and not having to do anything for himself due to his heavy weight at the time that I believe that, yeah, I think that he does want a relationship where the woman is just taking care of him. And there are relationships where that can work out, but this girl, it came out that he was paying her for her company. You are not paying this girl enough money to be your mommy. And there also kind of has to be a spoken discussion about this beforehand. Like, she has to know what she's getting herself involved in, and taking care of you and being your literal mommy probably wasn't on her list. And Boogie, is, as I said before, has had a terrible childhood. So he was mentally abused by his mom his entire childhood. So it's pretty simple to understand that he probably is trying to seek out relationships that are just as toxic because that's what he's used to. Even if it wasn't really that toxic, I could see him going out of his way to make it toxic because that's what he's comfortable with, which is sad, but at the same time, get help, do better, work on yourself. It's not an excuse to hurt other people. He wouldn't even let the girl use her phone. That's scary. And she left the situation, and afterwards Boogie claimed that they broke up because he found out that she was a gold digger, which you hired her from the get-go. So Boogie kind of fed into people talking badly about her. A lot of people don't like cam girls and girls like this, but Boogie knew what he was getting into, and he was blatantly lying that this girl manipulated him into believing that she wanted to be in a relationship when she was doing what you paid her to do. And this like nice guy persona he has, it really starts to fall apart once you realize that he's not just a nice guy, he's a nice guy. That's all I really want to say about that situation. You can find a lot about it online. I wanted to talk about Boogie's weight loss lies now. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm someone that has struggled with their weight their entire life. So I know how hard it is to maintain a certain weight, maintain a certain figure. I've never been as heavy as Boogie, but I've been pretty chubby, and it's hard. It's difficult. I'm not just gonna talk about how he's lazy because he's heavy. There's a lot more to it. Boogie had a weight loss surgery, and he's barely lost weight. Weight loss is really hard, and everybody's journey is different, but Boogie is lazy. He doesn't want to lose the weight. He's claimed that he is going to eat clean and do better and go on diets, but then you'll see photos of him just eating really unhealthy food, eating pizza, cake, cookies, eating lots of food that isn't clean. He will often be like, oh, I'm gonna do a 30-day clean eating diet, and he fails it every single time. He isn't really taking his post-surgery seriously, and he claims that he's stuck at 350 pounds. He claimed that the surgery made him want to harm himself because eating is the only thing that makes him happy. It's really the constant lying, backtracking, and making people believe that he is doing something good for himself and then refusing to go through with it that gets really frustrating. It's hard, but there's only so much cycle of bad behavior that you can handle as a fan of him, and eventually it just kind of feels like he's almost a burden to his followers, which is really sad. But if someone doesn't want to get better after years, months, what else is there you can really do? He'll bring up wanting to lose weight, wanting to start a new diet for sympathy points and for positive comments and people like, you can do it, I believe in you, I love you, all this stuff. And then he'll fail immediately. And you can tell there's a cycle of it. You can tell that he'll only really bring up that he wants to get on a diet and do better when he wants some positive comments, which isn't really a good use of your fan base. It's a pattern, and you'll see this a lot with Boogie. There's always a pattern of him repeating the same behaviors and refusing to get better, almost like he is also a fellow girl. Boogie2988 is a fence sitter, and he tries to claim it's more of centrist, trying to be a centrist person, but it's not. He really just tries to pander to everybody's opinions, which is impossible. Everybody has a different journey in life that kind of forms the opinions you have. And for you to be in the middle of every single opinion is literally impossible. Even if you want to kind of understand where the other side is coming from, you're going to have an opinion. That's just being a human. And when Boogie isn't pandering and fence sitting, the opinions that he does kind of strongly lean towards, which you can find them, are really kind of a lot. Not these comments. Not these ones. Boogie liked this comment of someone saying some questionable things about certain groups. Then goes on to say on Twitter that these groups should be okay with waiting to have the marriage that they want. And these bizarre comments about Anne Frank. I don't know what it is about Twitter. He needs to just be off Twitter and stop being on it as much, stop posting his opinions on there as much, because just a ton of bizarre stuff has popped up, and it's just really unsavory. It's kind of weird, like the combination of his fence sitting and the comments that he does post. It's just like choose, just choose. And his responses to people criticizing him are just, it's just too much. He can't handle it at all. The biggest reason why I could no longer support him was the emotional manipulation and the use of his mental health as a shield from criticism, as a shield to hide behind. It's too much. I've made a video on this before. You can't do that to people. You just can't. It's not okay for somebody without a platform. It's really, really not okay for somebody with a platform, because you're gonna hurt a lot of people. And when you have power and you're emotionally manipulative, you're going to manipulate your entire fan base, which is really just not good. Boogie will put his opinions online. People will criticize him. Then he'll immediately use his mental health as a defense, then backtrack. He doesn't want to offend anybody, but he'll continuously put these opinions online, and when people don't agree, it's like you have to take the criticism if you want to put those opinions online. All of this comes down to him not being trustworthy. It makes you not trust him as a person. Being online really does suck sometimes, but he will use his mental health defense. He will threaten to get rid of his dog. He'll threaten to harm himself if people don't agree with him or are angry with him. And that's really emotionally manipulative. Imagine if you were in a relationship with somebody and they threatened to harm themselves because you were upset with them. It's not okay. He just wants to stay the victim forever. He doesn't want to get out of this mindset that he is a victim. He wants to be the victim. He does not want to take accountability. Every creator faces criticism, especially with people that have a platform like Boogie. He has hundreds of thousands of followers, and it's important as creators that if you get criticism for things that you messed up, you are in the wrong. You have to take accountability, take in that criticism, apologize, and say you'll do better the next time, and show people that you are trying to do better. And he doesn't do any of that. He'll also feed the fire, and it's hard not to, but he will constantly just post about people that don't like him, and when people say bad things about him, and it's just like, once you have a platform that's that big, who cares? Like, who really cares? It's hard to not care, but once your platform is so big and you can really do anything you want and your money is good, who cares? Like, he wants to be the victim. He doesn't want to get better and be happy and live a fulfilling life. He doesn't want to lose weight. He wants to be the victim. He wants people to feel sorry for him. And I want you guys to understand, I'm gonna say this again, Boogie is 40 years old. He's not somebody in their 20s trying to figure their stuff out. He needs to do better and have better life skills, and he has money to help him get therapy and do better, and he just doesn't want to. He doesn't care. And when someone's this old, it's kind of like these patterns are already learned. They're already ingrained in your behavior. So why get better? I believe that this is just who he is and who he's gonna be forever. I don't think he's going to, in like 5 years, just be a whole different person. I think this is just it. He's way too old to be manipulating his fan base in the way that he is. I also kind of want to just include this screenshot of him telling one of his fans that want to harm themselves that their life may be pointless. And while this may seem like it was a nice comment, you shouldn't ever tell someone that feels bad about themselves that, yeah, your life may be pointless. That's horrible. He'll use his dog Sammy for sympathy points as well, which is extremely emotionally manipulative.
And if you can prove to me that the reason I blocked you is that you called me no names this summer, if you can prove to me you showed me no names this summer, I will literally take Sammy to the pound. I will literally take him to the pound and find him a new home. I swear.
Please don't do that. What?
Yeah, please don't do that. We love animals too much.
I'm saying I will find him a new home. I will find him.
You know how I said that we would talk about his wife again? Well, have you noticed that his wife hasn't really talked about any of this or came forward to discuss any of this? Boogie will even post photos of him with like these sugar babies and stuff that are really, really young and really, really out of his league. And I want to present you this clip of Boogie saying that he asked his wife to get a non-disclosure agreement at the time of their divorce.
Because in my mediation, there's like a non-disparage clause, which I asked for, that she didn't ask for.
This is emotionally manipulative. I'm sure she just did it because she didn't care, just wanted to move on with her normal life. Not just, she doesn't want to be involved in the online stuff anymore. She just wants to move on past it. So she probably doesn't care. But this is a way for him to silence her indefinitely. If she ever wanted to come out and be like, Boogie did this to me, he was horrible in this way, or anything, she legally can't. And that's insane. That's killing someone's voice so they can no longer speak out against you. There's also a situation where a Twitter user called out Boogie for using his mental illness as an excuse to manipulate people. Boogie says that the guy is a liar, and the guy posts a photo of his degree. Boogie immediately blocks him. It's just like, it just puts kind of a nail in the coffin of the kind of person he is, trying to act like he's a big tough guy, but when someone's like, actually, I am professionally certified in seeing that you are emotionally abusive, and he's like, oh well, I'm gonna block you so you can't post that anymore. I also want to show you guys this clip.
Here we go, ready?
Yeah.
And are your parents still together?
No.
Okay, alright, so maybe I should take point then.
What?
Well, if your parents aren't together, then you probably come from a broken home. You're probably gonna get real angry when you start losing, so,
I won last game, bud. That was my first game on.
Alright, well maybe you just learned how to channel that anger. Alright, I wish you luck, man, then. Good luck. My parents died.
While it could just be, innocent trolling online, I don't see how, if you came from a bad childhood, how you would think it was okay to make fun of someone for having divorced parents. That's hard for children, and I just didn't see the point of it. And it's like, he wants to be edgy, but when he is edgy, it's just mean. Like, it's not even like trolling or just poking fun. That's just mean. Like, haha, your parents are divorced. All right, man, that kind of traumatized me, but okay. And then him saying that both of his parents are dead afterwards, that doesn't make it okay to poke fun of other people who have had bad situations with their parents.
I would never verbally or emotionally or physically assault anybody. If you're stupid enough to think that of me, then I can't help how stupid you are. Like, you can't.
And you tell me that man didn't deserve better than that. Dare you, and I will knock you the f*** out. I will knock you the f*** out. I will floor you.
There's just a lot of hypocrisy in that. I'm not even going to dive into Boogie's constantly changing political opinions that he thinks is being a centrist. This video is extremely condensed down, kind of to the point where it's just showing what made me realize that I'm tired of this creator, that this creator is not the person who I thought they were. For the longest time, I believed that he was just some nice, sweet man on the internet that was super nerdy and was working on his weight loss and had a really bad childhood, but was trying his best, and he was really positive, and that was really inspirational for me and for a lot of people. But I don't know if it was the fame, the money, I don't know if it was the divorce. That's just not the same person. It's just not the same person that I used to be kind of inspired by. It feels like I invested a lot of emotional feelings into a creator just to be kind of smacked in the face. And that's kind of the thing with YouTubers. It's like, you don't know who this person is. You don't know what they're capable of. You don't know how things are behind all the editing and things in their relationships and how they truly think. He's either changed as a person completely, or everything that he already was is just coming to light. And it's a shame that his wife signed that NDA, because I want to know who he really is, and I feel like only his ex-wife knows. I feel like only she is capable of letting us know who he truly is, and we'll never know. She signed the NDA, and that's her right. I don't really blame her for not wanting to be included in any of this. I hope she didn't go through anything horrible, but I'm glad that she got out of it and is hopefully in a happier, more emotionally stable place now. 2019 means we are no longer supporting creators that have a cycle of emotional manipulation and lying. I'm over it. I'm over creators that have a pattern that they never can get out of. People need to do better, and I think we're kind of tired of fake personas, and with the era of streaming and creators having to adapt to how the platform is changing. Thank you guys for watching this video. Leave your opinions down below. I love to hear them. Like the video, because as soon as this gets a few views, Boogie's fans are going to come in force and dislike the video. I know that's already going to happen, but yeah. I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy my Twitter, my Instagram, Patreon. Check out my Teespring. I want to put out some new spring merch soon, so be ready for that. And yeah, have a good day and bye.